Well, jeepers! You're listening to Smash or Pass.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another review on the JayBee and Milly channel, Smash or Pass. I'm JayBee and today I am joined by Milly.
Hi.
And we are also joined by Rhianna.
Hello.
So today we are going to be reviewing Scooby Doo, Where Are You? In Which Is Which. So very, very good episode that people have been looking forward to for a long time. I've seen that in the comment section people have been saying, oh, I can't wait for you to get to which is which. So here we are. We are going to see exactly which. But if you haven't seen this episode for a while, then we're going to give you a bit of a recap in the form of a Rhianna plot summary.
Ooh, okay. So, Fred, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy and Scooby, good old Mystery Inc. are at it again, and they are returning from you could say, failed fishing trip. They didn't do that well. And they decide, let's take a shortcut through a dark, creepy swamp. I don't understand their thought process in that, but, you know, it happens. And so Fred pulls over and they asked, directions from a man with a lantern on the side of the road. But that man appears as a zombie. He isn't a real person. So they quickly speed away and find a general store. And inside is a man named Zeke, I think his name is. And they find out that a zombie was conjured up by a witch that is supposed to live in the swamp with her magical voodoo powers. And the gang, as they do, once they find out about this haunting, they go off into the swamp and decide we have to solve this mystery. And that's exactly what they do. So let's get into it.
Yeah, so I guess starting us off in the swamp setting now, I think that I don't really commend the artwork of the show enough because the way that they managed to build atmosphere, you've got the bog underground kind of, you've got the, I don't know, I don't want to call it a gondola, but I think that's what it is. There's a zombie on a gondola, and I just love how eerie it is, seeing how incongruent this undead being is amongst the swamp. It's just, I really like it. It reminds me a bit of Shrek in hindsight, because it's like this big green thing in a swamp. But I enjoy it, and I think that the atmosphere, along with the music, is really good. What do you think, Milly?
I think it's, like you say, a really good setting. Kind of brings the fun factor in quite early as well, with like Scooby trying to fish from the bucket and things. But also I'm with Rhianna, like taking a detour through a swamp in the middle of the night. It's kind of not a good choice.
Would you not do it?
I feel like it's like a common thing with like anything remotely like spooky, isn't it? Like they do the opposite of what they're meant to do.
Can I ask you amazing people a bit of a wacky question?
Yeah.
Do swamps exist in the UK?
I believe so.
Because I know we've got bogs
And
marshes, but I'm kind of thinking to the implications of a swamp in how common they would be in, say, America or over here, and why they would even be driving around that way, but beyond, the plots about a swamp and in a swamp.
I will say most swamps in the UK are like they're more common in Scotland because of their weather. But in England, there's not. I mean, there are swamps, but not like the spooky New Orleans vibes that which is which throws out at us.
Well, I don't know. Regardless, I think it's still a pretty cool setting. I'm very curious to see to which extent Bob Singer was involved in this, because I think it's very Bob Singer-esque. All these the layouts and the backgrounds and just the spooky vibe.
And I think that aesthetically, this is a great villain. The zombie looked good.
Is this the zombie from Monsters Unleashed, the one that vomits on people?
Yeah, it looks like that.
Because if it is, then
They did that very well.
it would have been nice to see the witch as well. And I think obviously we know some stuff about the witch, and the witch was planned. I think we can still see them in the Game Boy game. But it's kind of weird to have one and not the other, but I like it here. And I don't know. There's not a lot that I can talk about apart from the fact that I think they do the best that they can do. Like you said, Millie, with the humor in terms of the fishing. I also really like that Scooby has the jumping beans. Was that your favorite part, Rhianna?
Really enjoy. Oh, sorry. I really enjoyed that part.
Have you ever had jumping beans?
I don't believe I have. I've had baked beans.
What have you had, Millie? What beans have you had?
Jelly beans. Baked
Oh,
beans.
jelly beans.
Kidney beans gonna make chili.
Kidney.
You like refried beans when we have Mexican.
Yeah. So there's different types of beans. I think there's a bean for every occasion.
There's a butter bean.
There is.
Bertie Bott's bean.
There's mean beans and green beans and lean beans. So Shaggy finds a voodoo doll. Are we there yet?
I kind of wasn't there yet, I don't think. So, as they've gone through the swamp, as always, they seem to know everybody. They end up at somebody's house who says they've seen the zombie and a witch. So that's the first we hear of the witch. This is when they all start to split up, which again is just this thing that you shouldn't do because that's when everything bad normally happens. So Shaggy and Scooby go to Zeb's place, which is the friend of the person we've just seen, and nobody's home. But then then Shaggy finds, like you're saying, the voodoo doll of Zeb. So to me, this is an indication of, okay, it's just going to be these two people, because like we saw with the Elias Kingston one, when somebody changes or something, it pretty much has to be them.
Yeah, well, there's only two people, right, that we're introduced to. And there's also only two villains.
Two
Well,
villains,
only
two
villains,
people, it just adds up quite neatly. So to that end, some of these episodes have kind of surprised me because I'd forgotten who the villain was, but from the second it was there, we knew.
It's very obvious. Very, very obvious. But I don't think it takes away from the story fully. There's some decent moments. Like, again, I don't know why there's a gondola in a swamp, but I'm there for it. When the witch and the zombie are on there together. Just seeing them together, I almost want to get that on like a canvas just because it's such an odd coupling, but I enjoy it.
So this is like a pattern, I think, in this. Is so they split up, they rejoin all back together, at which point danger-prone Daphne steps in and gets kidnapped.
Ooh.
She does always get
Well, she doesn't always get kidnapped. I can't believe you'd say that to me. No, it's just ridiculous. Although, to be fair, if I was a monster, I'd kidnap her. She's very kidnappable. Because what are you going to do with Fred? Like, it's just mad.
So they need to split up again, and when they split up again, Fred and Velma find Daphne.
And she's gagged for once, which I actually really like. No,
Oh my gosh,
because there's a moment, because she's making those like noises.
Oh, look.
And
Oh.
Velma makes a funny, where it's like, that sounds like Daphne. And it's like, yes it does, Velma. You were finally right. But I will stand by that beyond the creepiness, it is proper to gag Daphne, right? Because if she calls out, then she's going to be found instantly. So I do like how it's a bit more real and that she's gagged. I'm a fan.
JayBee, you are a creepy, simpy pervert.
What the heck? No, logically, she needs to be gagged for it to work, or it'd be too obvious.
So on a different note,
Thank you, Rhianna.
fun little fact: the witch is voiced by Don Messick, and so is Zeke.
What the?
I'm so sorry.
Wait, how did Don Messick make that noise? Isn't it like do the noise, man?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just did this. I went ooh, and then like grabbed and like caught the headphones. I'm really sorry.
It's just not good.
And also in this episode, the just a little like thingy. You know, I can't think of words right now. Oh yeah. So the zombie disguise is later used for the Mamba zombie in the Scooby Doo show episode Mamba Wamba and the Voodoo Hoodoo.
Mumba Wumba.
Yeah, don't you remember that episode?
Oh, I do. Is it the one where aren't there multiple zombies there?
I think like Mumba is the you know the one with like the funky like 70s style band as such, I guess.
Is it like Funky Ricky?
I have no idea. Yeah, like with the three like bandmate. I don't know how to describe it.
We should watch it again.
We will when we get to review it.
I don't think I'll make it.
Yes, we will, JayBee. We will. Trust
Um,
me. It's like there's Mamba Wamba, Zombie Lila, and the Mamba Zombie, and the Mamba Zombie is kind of like very, very similar to the zombie in this.
I wonder if they reuse stuff. It'd be interesting to know. Because there have been occasions where I've been like, that looks very similar to this. Like, again, we've already discussed the Wolfman or the werewolf in this looking similar to the one. I think that we will even see as early as next season, so we will see. We will see. So, Velma drops the soap, and the door opens. And yeah, Daphne's found, as we said.
So
Shaggy.
meanwhile, Shaggy and Scooby have had their little chase sequence with the zombie, and they dress up as the witch.
Yeah.
So the zombie grabs hold of Scooby's tail. Don't do that.
Yeah, why? That's abusive, surely.
Like Tattie's just snuggled closer to me, but tucked her tail underneath her when you said that. So I think she's like, no one touches my tail.
But
Say
why would you pull a dog's tail? Like, I know that the zombie is a bit, obviously evil, but at the same time, it's almost like, I feel like if you think about the monsters after the fact, I think it's highly improbable that they would act the way they do, considering that the zombie is fully aware that he is a normal person, and so is the witch, and they know each other. Like, is it, but again, that's just nitpicking something that's going to be an issue throughout the entirety of like this.
They do a fun little quirky thing with Scooby snacks to get Scooby free.
Oh, yeah.
Like they throw Scooby snacks, and like Scooby like just runs away from the zombie.
Oh, there's another little in this little bit. You know how Shaggy does like the whole "what are little boys / girls made of" like nursery rhyme. So it's, I guess it could also be related because the Powerpuff Girls were also originally created by Hanna-Barbera, but it was like mainly produced through Cartoon Network Studios, as like they branched off just before coming out with it and everything. And of course they use sugar, spice, and everything nice. So it's like a little crossover between Scooby Doo and Powerpuff Girls. Scooby Doo is in like every cartoon, I feel like somewhere they use inspiration.
Who were the voice actors that played the part? Was it Tara Strong?
I know there's been quite a few. So I mean, it kind of depends on the series, I think. Because I know, yeah, Tara Strong voiced Bubbles, E.G. Daily Buttercup, Kathy Cavadin, it was Blossom. I was about to say Bosom. I misread it.
Imagine that. Character of Bosom. You have a Bosom Funko Pop.
Oh my gosh, I'm the worst.
So Shaggy steals the witch's broom,
And
but
it doesn't fly.
oh lord!
Sorry.
But this
Dun,
compels.
dun, dun.
Oh, but this compels. Oh my lord! But this compels the rest of the gang to believe that Shaggy is the real witch. So their response being to run up to him and beat him up, which is a bit nasty.
Oh.
Imagine if they actually did that to the villain.
But they don't. They're scared when it's the real villain.
That is mad. If you think all the issues that if they all just charged one villain out at the same time.
But they escape on a boat, and they go through this witch balloon, and then they realize the witch might not be real, and then all of a sudden everyone's not dead anymore. Ooh.
Is that for me?
So they drop the
Yeah.
anchor, which catches on this kind of like car thing full of money, which is like, we now see the motive. They were looking to kind of retrieve this missing money.
Yeah, the dollar, the
Question.
coin.
Is this is happening at night, isn't it? So we're in the swamp at night.
Can we go to the
slowly
swamp? Wait,
downgrading.
the swamps even exist in the day? I've never seen a
Oh
swamp.
gosh.
And oh no, because Shrek.
Oh no.
No, because he has the mud baths, doesn't he?
Oh my god.
Look, somebody once told me.
But like, we're slowly downgrading in episodes. Because first we were on like the beach at night, then a boat at night. Now in the swamp at night.
Well, I'm
What
getting
happened
too
to the
old
beach?
for this, and I am getting too old for this. So
Hey, or not?
Fred uses the money to lure the monsters into a trap. But Scooby gets caught too. But here's what I do like, because every single time something gets a bit wacky, a bit messed up, like Fred always pulls something out of his butt out of nowhere that's like the magic tool that will save everything. And we get that here as well with the fishing rod, but it's set up at the start. Like there's a in-story reason why there's a fishing rod there and why one of them would have it. And so the fact that that was called back to, I actually think that that's one of the, if you can call it, the better writing from this original series, is that we actually got something of a comprehensive reason about why that happened. So I enjoyed that a heck of a lot. I'll give the credit for that. All the credit in the world. To you, Millie.
It was very good writing. And then we are all so shocked that that they are unmasked to be Eb and Zeke.
Yeah, these
Dun,
two
dun,
creeps.
dun.
They're just creeps.
It was like one of the most predictable episodes we've seen. But that being said, that doesn't mean it was done poorly. And then we get a nice little bit at the end where Scooby manages to catch his fish.
I want to do that.
So that wraps up the episode. Now, JayBee, for you, is this a smash or a pass?
I think this is a pass. I'm just kidding. I think I'll smash which is which,
What?
purely for the
Okay.
fact that it gave us so much classic Scooby that I think you couldn't really do now. I think it was just back to basics. You know, good start, good middle, good finish, and it was just what you expect. It's what you want, and obviously we've got the Daphne moment that I loved. So yeah, it's a smash for me, and I am definitely gonna watch this a couple more 100 times in my. So Millie, you smash or pass Scooby Doo? Where are you in which is which?
I think for all it was predictable, it was a really fun episode. I liked the villains. I liked how they addressed a lot of things. And so to that end for me, and like you said, everything was kind of more explainable, like with the fishing rod, the use of the anchor for all it probably wouldn't have been strong enough to move the entire car and everything, but everything seemed to happen for a reason. It wasn't just that stuff was miraculously happening. So for me, it's a definite smash as well. So that just leaves Rhianna. For you, is which is which, a smash or pass?
Oh, okay, sorry. Discord's doing that thing again when it doesn't pick up my voice.
Boom.
JayBee.
Boo you!
Boo you, JayBee. Boo you.
Hey!
Boo.
Yeah, we love you. Okay, Tatty, I'll get on with it. So I feel like this is just an episode that's really fun. It's predictable, but at the same time, it's just something that you can watch absentmindedly and really enjoy. So for me, it's a smash. I mean, there's not much to say. It gave us some iconic villains and, you know, a great storyline and plot, and yeah, it's just it was some good Scooby content.
Perfect. So again, a unanimous smash. So
Ooh.
I'm not sure if there's any community news. Feel like we may have covered the most recent things when we did our review of Scooby Doo Goes Hollywood, which I'm at JayBee if I was meant to.
There's some crappy things from that robot company. but I don't know if it's in England. I think really the only community news is if you subscribe to the channel, because I think you'll see all of the good stuff here, right? Like
Interviews.
the upcoming interviews and stuff. So really just subscribe. Other than that, I think it's happy days. I think we're all good.
And we will be back the day after tomorrow, I think, to review
Oh, sugar. I'll just close my book.
Go Away Ghost Ship.
Oh, is that the one with the gay blade? I think it might be.
So we'll see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching. Like JayBee said, subscribe and kind of, check out the links in the description below for Rhianna and for our social media as well to see what's up next.
So yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe to JayBee Milly, and we'll see you next time. Woo! Which is which?